So let's start the session for today. This is the fourth session in this topic of introduction to blockchain. So we had in the past 3 weeks we talked about what is a blockchain network. We spoke about a logistics use case, and then we also talked about features of blockchain, and then we also told that blockchain is nothing but a chain of blocks, and then we also compared a blockchain ledger to be in accordance with the book, wherein you have multiple pages, line number, page numbers, and the records written inside a page. Okay. Then we talked about what is a hash, and then we also saw a block structure, how a data is residing inside a block, how transactions are stored inside a block. We also talked about the various encryption and what is decryption mechanisms, cipher key. We also talked about private and public blockchains, and we talked about how a particular transaction, when it is created, how it is getting added onto a block, and then how that block gets added onto the blockchain ledger, and then later on how it is getting broadcasted onto all the computers in the blockchain network. So how everybody gets the same set of data replicated onto the blockchain network, right? And then we also saw a particular transaction, how a transaction in a blockchain looks like. Then we talked about blockchain addresses, how a common man can interact in a blockchain network. What is a private key? What is a public key? Any transaction can be will be taking place using a blockchain address. A person holding a private key, that is a long string, will hold the ownership of a particular address. He'll be able to do the transactions using a private key. He'll be able to sign a particular transaction and then broadcast it onto the blockchain. Then I showed you a sample Ethereum blockchain network, and then I also showed how Ethereum transactions takes place. We also saw a few transfers wherein I transferred a few ethers from one address to another, then how the transaction is being stored in the blockchain. All those things we spoke in the previous weeks. And also last week we spoke about mining, how blockchain, what is the benefit of a miner, what mining is, and then how new bitcoins gets added onto the blockchain network. We also talked about price of these bitcoins or Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies. The market is the one. How we also talked about market is the one deciding the price of price of a cryptocurrency. Then we spoke about Bitcoin supply. How much Bitcoin? Do you remember? Anybody remember how many Bitcoins will be there in total?
21 million.
Yeah. So in total 21 million Bitcoins will be there in supply, and then currently over 18.5 million of Bitcoin has been released onto the network and it is in circulation. Remaining 2.5 million will be made available onto the network, into the circulation in the coming years, and then final it will get ended. I mean, the supply comes in. The full supply of 21 million will be coming onto the blockchain network only in the year 2140. Okay, after that the Bitcoin blockchain circulations will have only transaction fee, and then there won't be any miners reward. People will still be mining the blocks and the transactions, but they will get rewarded by the transaction fees. Okay, every transaction will have a transaction fee. Currently a miner who is mining a block will get 6.25 Bitcoin as reward. All those things we spoke about is in our last session. And then we also talked about the units of Bitcoin, like it's like Satoshi. It's 10 raised to 8 Satoshi is 1 Bitcoin, and then 10 raised to 18 Wei is 1 ethers. Okay, 1 ether is equal to 10 raised to 18 way. So you can imagine the number of decimal places, how many single ether can be broken up into 10 raised to 18 ways. So you can have your transactions can have as low value. Okay, uh, as low value doesn't mean that it is in rupees, because one ether itself costs currently it's up to $4,500. Okay, so one A is like 10 raised to minus 18 into $4,500, right? So we talked about all these aspects in our previous sessions. So today we'll talk about has anybody heard of smart contracts? Earlier you would have heard this term. If you have read about Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies. Okay, so smart contracts is is uh, is a computer program, okay, which is executed inside a blockchain network. Okay, Bitcoin blockchain includes only transactions. There is this bitcoins, and then people can transfer certain set of bitcoins or BTC to one from one person to another. Okay, Ethereum is a blockchain platform which came into existence for in close to 10 years ago. Okay, and more than 10 years ago. And Ethereum is a platform which allowed uh, developers, software programmers to write smart contracts. Smart contracts will be, they are deployed onto the blockchain, and once deployed, once a smart contract is deployed, it is deployed forever, and it will have a address when you deploy a contract. Okay, what this contract does is, okay, it can have conditions. You can write conditions like for or when simple example. Okay, when two people come onto a betting. Okay, betting in the sense like if India wins a match today. Okay, if there is a World Cup match going on between India and New Zealand, and then one person says that India will win. If India wins, I will give you. You will have to give me 10,000 rupees. Okay. Other person says if New Zealand wins, you will have to give me 10,000 rupees. Okay. So what the match gets over? What if the other person doesn't pay you? Right. So what we can do is we write a smart contract, and then they both come into an agreement saying that if there is a result, okay, which is dependent on the match, okay, and I pay 10,000 onto the smart contract, you also pay 10,000 onto the smart contract. Okay, so that smart contract will lie in the blockchain. There is a condition written onto the smart contract, and it says that if India wins, 10,000 plus 10,000, 20,000 will be paid to Rahul. If India loses, 20,000 will pay to Ram. So you can write a condition and then put the money onto the smart contract. Okay, so smart contract is lying on the blockchain, and it contains a business rules. It can have multiple conditions saying that, or if India wins a match, that result will be made available to the smart contract after the match is over. So Ram pays 10,000, Rahul pays 10,000 onto the smart contract. Let's I'm keeping this value for simplicity. Let's say 10,000 ethers. Okay, it's actually a huge money, but let's keep it as 10,000 ethers. Ram pays 10,000 ethers, Rahul pays 10,000 ethers onto the smart contract. And what happens is that it is written, both of them have paid onto the smart contract. And after the match, the smart contract will automatically transfer 20,000 to the winner. Nobody can stop that. It is written as a rule and deployed onto the blockchain. And blockchain, it is immutable. Nobody can go and correct. Nobody can go and change that. The rule is like I will pay only 5,000. Those things cannot happen. Okay, all those things will be executed as defined. Okay, nobody can change. So that is why it is called a smart contract. and you can write any conditions, any business conditions can be written using a smart contract and then deploy. Okay, and there are various blockchain use cases which make use of these smart contracts. You can write as many programs and then deploy it onto the blockchain, and then you can build several use cases. Like I said about logistics use case, right? It can also define a workflow saying that if the temperature of a vaccine uh, is not less than 18 degrees Celsius at any point in time, the smart contract can initiate a transfer or initiate a transfer of a penalty by the logistics company which is moving. They can put an invoice saying that the at so and so period of time the wax temperature was low, so we are going to sue you, or we are going to bill you additional this thing, or this much vaccine was lost, that loss has to be bared by you, so we are going to cut this much amount from your fees. So all those rules can be made available onto the blockchain. Okay, smart contract is something which we can write and deploy onto the network. Okay, and we also talked about several cryptocurrencies. Right? Ethereum is one native blockchain cryptocurrency in the Ethereum network. There are over 6,000 cryptocurrencies in the market just now. Okay. All these cryptocurrencies are created and deployed onto the blockchain network using smart contracts. Okay, we can create a cryptocurrency by writing a smart contract. So there are various standards defined by the community to write a smart contract, and these smart standards, let's say it's called ERC20, ERC721. Those are all the various standards which exist at this point of time. ERC means Ethereum request for comments. That is a full form of that. That is a standard defined by a set of people in the community, and using these standards, cryptocurrency developers can define rules for creating a token, how many tokens can be created, what should be the name of the token, what should be the icon of the token. There will be a token symbol, right? And then what is the name? It will be a 3-digit name or a 2-digit name, symbols. All those things can be defined. How much token has to be made available onto the blockchain network, and what will be the rule of transferring, and then how much should be transferred when you say what could be the network fee. All those things can be defined using a smart contract. And then what to do when there is something called redemption of a token. And then if you buy token, so if you say that I want to buy token, somebody will transfer you token. Okay, and if you want to sell the token, you will have to transfer to somebody else. Okay, and there is something called burning of a token, which means that the token will no longer be in the network. Nobody can use it anymore. So there are various functions to be defined while writing a smart contract. So these rules and regulations are defined in certain format. Those rules are come into several categories, which is like ERC20, ERC721, ERC1155. There are various Ethereum standards. Okay, and this is with respect to cryptocurrencies. There are other use cases wherein we can write smart contracts and then build applications and deploy it onto blockchain. There is this voting. Voting is also one simple smart contract which can define that how to vote, how many tokens has to be used while voting, so that a person cannot vote again. Okay, after the you can define voting period. Voting starts from so and so date till so and so date, and then to vote a person should hold this much tokens. All those conditions can be written and then finally the smart contract can automatically publish the result. Nobody is going to manipulate the result. So everything is software controlled. Nobody can tamper the data. That is one of the benefit of a blockchain smart contract. Once it is defined, nobody can change. Okay, if somebody has to change, there should be an agreement with all the people involved. That is one benefit. You write an agreement and everybody agrees for a change, then you can make a change. Otherwise, you one person alone cannot make the change. Okay, that is the main benefit of something which is available in a decentralized network, which is owned by everybody. Okay, then there are various languages by which you can write smart contracts. In Ethereum, the popular language is called Solidity. It's like a similar to JavaScript. Okay, once you write your web pages, you write JavaScript programs. Okay, Solidity language is something similar to JavaScript. There is another language which can be used to write Ethereum smart contract, that is Viper. There is another called Serpent. All those things are there. And in private blockchain networks, similar to for example, it's like Hyperledger. You call smart contracts in Hyperledger as chain codes, and chain code can be written in Golang or JavaScript. JavaScript is a Node.js program. Okay, you can write smart contracts or chain codes in Hyperledger and then deploy it or write the agreements, write the business conditions, and then create applications. And there is this another blockchain platform called Corda. Okay, it's from a company called R3. It's called R3 Corda. There, the smart contracts are called flows, states, and contracts. Okay, it's a huge topic. That's why I'm not going in detail. Okay, you have to learn these languages and the syntax and all if you have to write smart contract. In R3 Coda, this language used is called Kotlin, and you can also write smart contracts using software language called Java, which is, I think, popular. Many people know. You will learn about Java and other things when you are trying to learn computer science and other languages, right? So you can use Java application, Java programming language to write R3 Coda flows. Okay, so R3 Coda is a private blockchain. So if you know any programming language, any one programming language, right, you can learn these Solidity or Golang pretty much easily. It will be much, if you know one language and the flow and the concept of that particular programming language, right, learning any other programming language will be very much easier. Okay, then we talk about tokens. Okay, token. Other day I was speaking about token, right? When you go to a supermarket and then you have a helmet or a bag, okay, you hand it over to that security, and then that person will give a plastic chip and then say that this is your token. You go do your purchase, shopping, and then come back, give me this plastic chip back which has a number, right? You give back to me, then I will give you your belongings. So he is giving you a token. That token makes yours that it proves that you are the owner of your helmet or your baggage which you have kept with you, right? So token is essentially a proof of ownership. Similarly, in the blockchain world, we can create crypto tokens. Okay, that crypto tokens can be of different set of attributes. It can have multiple attributes. One particular token, in this case, when you go to supermarket, it says that this particular token holds the ownership of a particular box inside the or in particular rack inside a number shaped box will be a numbered box will be there where you keep your belongings. Okay, it will be numbered 1 to 20 or something like that. It says if your token number is 19, it says that whoever comes with that token, I will give that items in whatever is there in the box 90. Okay, similarly, crypto tokens can be created using smart contracts, and then they can also define what is a token, what should be the parameters of the token, how much the value should be, what it represents. Okay, it can represent there are multiple categories of tokens. Let's say utility token is one, there is commodity tokens, and then security tokens. Okay, security token is something which says that uh, ownership of a company. If you want to become an owner of a company, and then it is a partnership. Okay, they can create tokens and then say whoever wants to become partner, you can buy these tokens. Let's say there are 10,000 tokens, each valuing 10,000 rupees, or each valuing let's say it's a 1 crore company or 10 crore company, and they issue 10 tokens. Okay, anybody who has 1 crore can buy 1 token. So whoever is holding the token will own the 10% of the particular company. So that is one category. And there is this commodity token, which is will be backed by a digital asset, or you deposit gold and then they will as much gold is there, they will create as many tokens in circulation, and then you can buy, and the value of the token can increase or decrease based on the value of the gold. And there is this category called utility tokens, which is like most of the cryptocurrencies in the current world, right? It you can transfer, you can distribute, you can break it up, you can transfer, sell, all those things can happen. So there are certain standards and definitions, and then categories of what we currently see as tokens. And in every cryptocurrency is in essentially a token. Okay, and as I said, there are various token standards. In case of Ethereum platform, ERC20 is one particular standard which says that as a fungible token. I'll talk about what is fungible token in a while. ERC 721 is a standard interface of non-fungible token. Fungible token means you, if there are 100 tokens, okay, all the tokens have the same value. If there is, let's say, a Bitcoin is a fungible token, one Bitcoin is equal to another Bitcoin, one ether is equal to another ether. So they are fungible tokens, means they are all one and the same. Okay, whereas what do we call it, there is another type of token called non-fungible token, which means they are unique. Okay, I'll talk about NFT art. Okay, which means that it is a non-fungible token of digital art, which means that every token created will be unique. You cannot give one token and then replace with another, because one NFT token will be unique, and then it will have a different value. Okay, similarly there are various other token standards, ERC 777, ERC 1155, which will have additional functionalities or additional business rules or ease of use to facilitate easiness or transactions for the user. There are various token standards available in the industry just now. Okay, and smart contracts are used to define these rules and conditions for a particular transaction. You can define what all conditions you want to write in for a particular token using these smart contracts. So as a common man, you don't have to worry about all these things, because there are various applications and exchanges which do all the background work. Okay, and finally what you see is a commodity. You can buy, you can sell, you can trade tokens, you can buy digital art, you can buy NFT art and then sell. But you don't have to really understand, or you don't have to really worry about what is running inside the backend. So in the background, smart contracts are the ones which defines all these things. Okay, and the underlying platform is what the blockchain is. Okay. Type of tokens, I said fungible and non-fungible token. So fungible tokens means each fraction of the token is equivalent to the next. Cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is fungible, meaning one Bitcoin is equal to another Bitcoin. And they are interchangeable. You can give one Bitcoin and then take another Bitcoin. So they are all interchangeable, and then they are divisible. You can fractionalize. You can convert into one BTC into 10 raised to 8 satoshis. So they can be fractionalized. Okay. Non-fungible tokens, they are unique. They represent a unique collectible item. It can be an art, it can be a music, it can be a video, or any media. Okay. They cannot be split or exchanged with another NFT of the same type. They cannot be exchanged because NFT once created, okay, non-fungible token will have one value. Another NFT, which is represented by another commodity, another music piece, or another art, will have a different value. That's why non-fungible tokens are unique. Okay, and then they represent different collectible items. Okay, and I'll talk about some of the use cases, blockchain use cases, which are popular currently. Okay, one such thing is proof of existence. Like if a person want to say that I own something, or this particular document was created by me. So what they do is, there are websites which help you to do. So what you do is you upload a particular document which you created. Okay, it can be a PDF or it can be a scanned document. Okay, you upload that document. What it gives is it generates a hash of that particular document, and then that hash will be uploaded onto the blockchain. Okay, Bitcoin blockchain, and it will be public. Okay, and then when that particular hash is uploaded onto the blockchain, you will get a transaction ID. Okay. So now what you can do with this is that you can say that I have created this particular document. I created on November 28, 2020, and I have uploaded this particular document and then pushed it on the public blockchain network. Okay, and this is the transaction ID. I will store the transaction ID with me. Okay. Tomorrow, if somebody else is taking your data or your music and then say that this is my property, okay, what you can say is that no, this is my property. I owned this, and then this is the proof. The proof says that I had owned this, and then I created this document, and then the proof is that I have uploaded this document onto the blockchain, and then this is the hash. This is the transaction ID, which says that I own this particular data on so and so date. Okay, that is one use case. And then another use case which I talked about earlier is the logistics use case, or a supply chain. Supply chain essentially helps you to helps in the provenance of a commodity. Okay, you can in supply chain world, you don't even know where your coffee powder came from. So you are drinking a coffee, you're going to a hotel, and then you're ordering a coffee and drinking it. Okay, but the idea of supply chain provenance is that when this whole supply chain is made available onto the blockchain network, you can always go and track, and then say that this particular coffee, the hotel owner can always say that this particular coffee bean had come from Argentina. It was made from there, and then somebody has exported. This was the path which took, and then it was exported on so and so date. It arrived here. It was packed by so and so person, and this was the these were the items which passed through during this transit of that particular coffee bean to to the mom to the point where it has become coffee and sitting in front of you. There will be a lot of items which has happened, lot of things which have happened onto that coffee bean. It was powdered, it was packed, and then it was moved from one country to another, and then it was purchased by this hotel on so and so date, and then it finally has become come to in front of you into onto your table as a coffee, right? So all those things can be proven. So that is something called the provenance. And then in supply chain domain, this provenance is a major factor. The coffee example uh, may not be may not be helpful for a common man, but in scenarios wherein they want to prove that, let's say a company called Nike is manufacturing a shoe. Okay, Nike wants that the shoelace, okay, which the cotton which is used for that particular shoelace has to come from a farm in, say, New Zealand. Using blockchain, they will be able to track from where the cotton used for creating this particular shoelace was produced. So that kind of information can be made available when multiple organizations or multiple people are involved, and then everybody update the data onto the blockchain network. I had showed you the vaccination transit in the first class, right? Wherein the vaccine is manufactured from Sydney and then brought it to Mumbai, right? So the person sitting in Mumbai will be able to track and find out the path through by which the vaccine had come all the way from Sydney to Mumbai. Okay. So that kind of information will be made available onto the blockchain network. Everybody sees everything. Okay, in whoever are the interested parties, they will be able to verify the data in the blockchain, whether who has updated the data, when was it updated, what was the transaction ID. All the information will be available in the blockchain network. Another use case is a payments and money transfer, right? You can use cryptocurrency to make cross-border payments. There are blockchain networks which helps you to do these payments, cross-border payments. Stellar is one network, and then Ripple is another money transfer cryptocurrency which is used widely at this point of time. And then this academic certificate validation is another possible use case in blockchain. Okay, let's assume that you are studying, and then you get your degree certificates, right? You get your +2 certificate, you got your 10th certificate, and whenever you are going to for an interview or for writing a test, you are going to apply for a job, everybody will be asking your certificates in original. Okay, they'll be asking your birth certificate, they'll be asking your identity proof, they'll be asking your 10th certificate, 12th certificate, degree certificates. All these certificates are asked in original. Okay, now if all the organizations, your school, your college, your motor vehicles department, your the government agency who manages the certificates, right? The birth certificate, death certificate, all the certificates are managed by the government, like local government authorities, right? So they are connected to the blockchain, and then your college is also connected to the blockchain. So you have this mechanism, like currently you have something called DigiLocker, wherein you can store all the certificates onto the DigiLocker. You can show the digital version of the certificates. Okay, these certificates, uh, if it is signed by the college and then uploaded onto the blockchain network, right? Anybody who wants to verify the authenticity of the certificate which is shown by you, they can always go and check against the blockchain network and then see that this certificate was truly uploaded and signed by the college. This certificate was issued by the school. This certificate was issued by this government authority. All those things can be verified by the third person can always go and check on what day this was issued, when was it issued. All this information can be made available using a blockchain network. And you can also make certain things private. The college can uh, provide the details only which is required by the third party to validate. All those things can be made possible. That is another academic certificate verification use case. Okay. And another interesting use case is like the movie industry. Currently, when a movie is uh, you currently you would have seen this OTT platforms, right? Like Amazon Prime, Netflix, and then solely live. But there are various online platforms wherein people are watching movies online, right? So the movie creator, they get money based on the rights when Amazon Prime or buys the movie. For they initially bid and then they buy the movie rights from the producer. So the producer gets the money, he distributes it to the various people who are all involved in that particular movie. Okay, so there is another possible way by which once this movie has bought by, let's say, 30 crore, okay, and the movie makes the largest collection of say 300 crore, who makes a bigger money? There will be a middleman who will be making most of the money in the current scenario, which is the distributor. And distributor says whatever has been the collection for that particular day, the person, the theater owner, whatever he says has to be believed. Okay. There is nobody will go and verify how many tickets were sold, how many people actually watched, all those things in the current theater scenario. And then whatever the theater claims or whatever the distributor claims, that has to be believed by the producer, the director, all the people who are there in the industry just now. Okay, if the movie is being streamed online and there is this blockchain network sitting in the middle, and then it says that it can track how many times this particular movie was watched, and then you can write smart contract condition saying if a person wants to buy this movie, he can view it for say 100 rupees, okay, for a single movie watch. Okay. When I'm watching, I pay 100 rupees and then watch the movie. Okay, in the smart contract you can write out of that 100 rupees, 20 rupees goes to the producer, 20 rupees goes to or say producer gets a more money. Let's say 70 rupees goes to producer, 10 rupees goes to director, another 5 rupees goes to the choreographer. All those things can be splitted and then distributed. So the smart contract can, the moment the money comes, it can automatically split and distribute it then and there. Okay, and then you can also write conditions saying that after 6 months the percentage can be redefined, and then say producer will get 50%, director will get more money, the spot boy also gets the money, the actor gets the money. So that those conditions can be written into the blockchain network, into the smart contract, and that can be a lifelong process. Whenever the movie is being watched, the person will get money. So that is one particular use case which can be used in the movie industry. And then another possible use case is the healthcare, where I talked to you about drug traceability, tracing the drugs from where it came, and the temperature, whether it was temperature control, etc. And another possible use case is this patient health data sharing. Okay, this may not be possible uh, because health data is a sensitive data. There are regulations in various countries that you cannot share somebody else's health data. But let's say you are staying in Kerala for a long time, okay, and then you are going to hospital every time you are visiting a particular hospital, and then all your health record data is available in a hospital. Okay. One fine day you are going to for a work and then going to Bangalore or Mumbai or any other city. Okay, there if you fall ill and then you are going and visiting that hospital, a hospital there. Okay, through blockchain the hospital can share the data to the other hospital, and then they can get the all the history of the patient's uh, health record can be shared to the hospital in Bombay. That is via blockchain in a secure manner. That is another possibility, wherein you can also include that a condition saying that this can be possible only if the patient is willing to do. So you can have a mobile app and then saying that hospital you want to share the health record data. The hospital in Kerala is willing to share the your physical health record data to a hospital in Delhi. You will get a mobile request in your request in your mobile app, and then you can say that yes, I can share the data. So it is beneficial for you, it is beneficial for the hospitals. Time is reduced. So that is another use case, possible uses. These are all the various possible use cases what I'm talking. Okay, then there is this something called DeFi, and I'll talk about NFT. Okay, DeFi is decentralized finance. That is most popular in this current scenario. There are a lot of use cases wherein this decentralized exchanges are happening. It's mostly in the financial sector, wherein one such use case I'll tell you how this DeFi works is that suppose a person has 10 bitcoins. 10 bitcoins is like $600,000. Okay, it's a huge money, and he wants loan. So what he does is that there is this decentralized finance. You can DeFi exchanges. You can transfer that 600,000. You don't want to sell that Bitcoin, okay? Because Bitcoin's price is going high, so you don't want to sell that, but you want to keep that Bitcoins in custody, and you want to take some loan out of it. So what you do is you give this uh, your 10 bitcoins onto this exchange, okay, DeFi, decentralized finance exchanges. Okay, you pledge your money there. They will give you equivalent amount of another cryptocurrency which you can sell and use. Okay, after that, after when your loan requirement is over, you are selling back you're paying back your loan. Okay, so you pay back your loan and then you take back your BTC asset. Okay, so there are smart contracts and conditions which says that if your Bitcoin price goes up or goes down, let's assume that currently the Bitcoin is like $60,000. Okay, the moment you pledge it and then it immediately became $50,000. So your pledge you wanted to take 600,000 as loan. Okay, and you gave $60,000 worth. I mean $600,000 worth Bitcoin. Okay, so 10 bitcoins you gave, and you took you are taking, let's say, 600,000 as loan. Okay, the next day when the Bitcoin price is going down, you have taken more amount, right? So what they do is they will sell off the Bitcoins to match the price. uh, if these are all the safety precautions which they do. So essentially what they happen is you can pledge your Bitcoins, take the money from there, and then you can use it. Once you repay the loan amount, you can get it back. And there are several dexes. It's called decentralized exchanges. It's like Maker, Compound, Aave, Curve Finance, and all these things. There are exchanges which help you to trade cryptocurrencies. You can buy and sell cryptocurrencies, which and then as I said earlier, these cryptocurrencies of the market is the value of the cryptocurrencies purely dependent on the market value. and then there is no such thing like a physical commodity which defines the value of a cryptocurrency. It's the value is defined by the market. Okay, there is a lot of risk involved in trading cryptocurrencies. Okay, buying and selling cryptocurrencies, there is a lot of risk involved. Okay, and there is this centralized exchanges like Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini. All those things are centralized exchanges which is owned by a company. Okay, these companies, what they do is they will take money from you and then give you cryptocurrencies, and then they help you to trade cryptocurrencies. The difference between decentralized exchanges and then centralized exchanges is that centralized exchanges is owned by a company. Decentralized exchanges, it is it cannot be, there is no regulatory body, nobody owns anything. Okay, and there is no specific person who is running the system. Okay, whereas in centralized exchanges it is owned by a company. You will have to provide your KYC details as in the know your customer details, like your address proof, your ID proof. All there will be several details you will have to provide to do such trading. Your India, I think in India, Wazirex or Zeppe are all the exchanges wherein you can Wazirex is one centralized exchange wherein you can buy and trade cryptocurrencies in India. Okay, they help you to do that. But the problem with cryptocurrencies at this point of time is that it is not regulated at this point of time. It's not regulated by the government. Okay, it's not. They are not telling that it is illegal, but it is not regulated. Okay, and other thing I wanted to talk about is what you call as an NFT art. NFT is a digital asset. I told earlier that NFT means is a non-fungible token. Okay. Non-fungible token is unique. Okay, it has a unique value, and the attributes are unique. So any person, uh, there are platforms which help you to tokenize your digital asset. Digital asset meaning it can be digital art or a music, or the music composition you have created, or a video you have created. You can sell it off. Okay, you can put your video onto sale. Okay, for doing that, there are platforms which help you to convert them onto an NFT. You create your creation, you can convert it into a NFT token. Okay, that NFT token can be published onto the blockchain network, and then there will be people who will be interested to buy your creation. Okay, and you create a digital art, you publish it somewhere. There are websites called OpenSea.io, Foundation.app. These are all various some of the NFT platforms which will help creators. Okay. There are art creators. You can create your art, create your digital wallet in this platforms, and then you can upload your digital art, and then they will help you to tokenize. Tokenizing means they will create a NFT token and then map it onto the digital asset, and you can set a value for that particular asset, and then they will help you to list your tokens. And there will be collectors, people who are interested to collect these artworks, right? They'll be proud to claim that I own this. They'll buy your creation. Okay, and then for buying, what they do is they use this platform, and then many people, if there are multiple buyers for a particular token, they will put it onto the bid, and then whoever bids higher, so bidding means auction, whoever bids high, they'll get the ownership of it, and then the digital art will have a label saying that this particular art was created by so and so person and it is now owned by so and so person. He bought it for this much amount of money. So that is a new technology advancement using this blockchain technology. I can show you one particular digital art. It's called foundation.app. Okay, this is one of my friend has done this. So I'll show you this. This is a digital artwork this person has created, and then you can see the value of this. Okay, the person created and then put a value of 0.20 ethers. Okay, and it was placed on bid. It was placed on auction by so and so by her, and then it was bought by a person called readily on I, and then it was bought by 0.25 ethers. So initially it was $807, and then this person bought it for $121, and it is listed. Okay, if he wants, he can sell this to somebody else. He can also put it on to sale later on, and then there will be people, they'll create, these creators will create several digital arts like this, and then they'll put it on to sale. Okay, it's like it's 0.1 ethers, this is 0.1 ethers. Anybody who wants to buy, see, you can say that this is owned by so and so person, this is owned by another person. So they have bought this 0.1 this particular digital art by paying 0.111 ethers, and then it says that it is currently owned by that person, and later on they can put it on to sale if they wish to sell it, and then they will, their job is to collect these digital arts, and then that is their hobby. Okay, there are people who collect these collectibles and then keep it, and then if a person's, if the, and if there is more demand for that particular artwork, right, so they will sell it off, and then there will be other people who will be interested to buy, and then the price will go up, right? When there is more demand, obviously the price of that particular NFT token will increase. Okay, so the rule, though this is, it is written by the smart contract saying that there are rules defined, like the creator, whenever there is a sale for this particular artwork, right, original creator will get some amount, there will be some royalty amount which they will get. Okay, so these are all various use cases using this blockchain technology. The technology is currently growing, there are various use cases coming up. Okay, it's definitely a brilliant technology, and there are more and more use cases which will be going to come. Okay, so that becomes that is the end of the these 4 sessions. If there are any questions on these sessions, you can ask.
Sir, can you repeat decentralized finance?
Yeah, DeFi, decentralized finance is a, I didn't want to talk about in detail because I thought it will be much more complicated and it will be difficult for you people to understand, right? Okay, so that's why I didn't go in detail. Okay, this DeFi is something, decentralized finance is something wherein there are currently, when you want to buy a loan, right, what happens is that you go to a bank, you provide your documents, you provide your collateral security. Your collateral security can be your house. Okay, you give your sale deed of the documents, and then you submit to the bank, you submit your all the other documents, copies of your documents, identity proof, address proof, your salary. That is how the bank will give you loan. Okay, so they will judge the risk. Okay, they will do an analysis whether you will be able to repay your loan, and then they will provide you loan. Okay, if you have a property, if you have a house uh, which is worth say 10 lakhs, okay, or say 40 lakhs, your house is worth 40 lakhs, and then you can give that document to the bank saying that currently it is hypothecated ownership is onto the bank, Okay, I will not be able to sell the house unless you give me the documents. Okay, so I will submit the collateral worth 40 lakhs to the bank, and then bank will give me a loan of say 30 lakhs. Okay, that is how normal centralized loan works. When you go to a bank, you provide a property of worth 40 lakhs and then you get 30 lakhs. And then they will tell that you'll have to pay back in say 15 years or 10 years, whatever be the EMI. They will define that you'll have to pay in this much amount of time. This will be the amount you'll have to pay monthly. Okay. And then they will take interest. That's how a traditional loan system works when you go to the bank. Okay. Decentralized finance is something wherein you're not taking the money from a single person. You're taking from a digital virtual system. Okay. And your collateral is a digital currency, and that is given onto a smart contract. Okay. And the people who are lending you money, you don't know from whom you are taking the money. Okay, they will pull in money as digital currency, virtual currency, cryptocurrencies. Okay, those currency you can withdraw and then you can use it by giving your bitcoins as collateral and then put it onto the smart contract. The smart contract will decide. It's not the bank which is deciding. A smart contract will decide the rules and regulations. It is all predefined, and smart contract will take preventive action if the market value of the Bitcoin goes up and down. Okay. So there are certain rules and regulations written already in the smart contract saying that in order to take $50,000 or 50,000 as currency, it will give cryptocurrencies. Okay, it will be a stable coin. It's called stable coin, okay, which doesn't change the value. Okay, one stable coin means one USD or one INR. For simplicity, I'll talk about Indian rupee. Okay? One Indian rupee is one stable coin. So I gave 10,000 worth Bitcoin, and then I will get 10,000 stable coins, which I will be able to convert it to fiat currency, Indian rupee, from an exchange, and then I will be able to use that money by pledging 10,000 worth Bitcoin. Okay. After that, when I repay, okay, and it says that I will have to repay with, and there is an interest. The benefit of decentralized finance is that the interest rate is very less. Okay, and there is no single person who is doing that. It is a smart contract which defines the rules. Okay, and then the moment you pay, there is no prepayment penalty. All those things will not be there. Okay, the moment you pay, moment you convert you have used the money, you have done your job, and then you are ready to repay, you convert it back to the fiat currency and push your money back to the smart contracts. The smart contracts will automatically deduct some interest. Okay, and then it will give back your bitcoins. That is how. And then the person who is, there will be people who will be investing on this. Okay? They will take this 60,000 in custody and then they will lend you money. This stable coin is what will be used. Okay? That will have something called liquidity should be there. So these stable coins will be created once they put actual money into the exchange as a custody. Okay, they will put money. Stable coin will be issued, and then those stable coins you can use it and then convert it to fiat currency. Fiat currency meaning Indian rupee, and then you will be able to use that money. So once your job is done, you are able to repay that. You can send it back to the currency, send it back to the exchange, and then they will convert it back, and then your Bitcoin will be given back to your wallet. So the benefit is that it is interest is less. There won't be too much of documentation involved. You get money faster.
Okay, thank you.